What's up, YouTube? Carl Frampton versus Alejandro Gonzalez Jr. And so much for wanting the Mexican style and wanting win over the Mexican fan base. You know what I'm saying? Yo, man, in this fight game, you gotta be smart, man. You gotta be smart, and if you got skills, you gotta use them, man. It's no going out there trying to impress nobody. I don't think anybody know who Alejandro Gonzalez Jr. was. I mean, he's ranked. He's not the best super bantamweight in Mexico, but he's ranked up there. You know, on BoxRec, he was ranked up there. You know, I don't know what it is what it was previously, because BoxRec doesn't waste any time updating their rankings and stuff like that after the dude got a loss. You know, you're gonna fall a level or two within the next 12 hours or so. You know, they're gonna update their stats, which I like, man. You know, they're fast, and that's all they focus on. These sanctioning bodies, they take like a whole month. You know, a dude can lose like 2 times within 3 months, and he can still have the same darn rankings. You know, they want to adjust their rankings to whenever they feel like it. But anyway, Alejandro Gonzalez Jr. He had one loss against Juan Alberto Reyes, a fellow Tijuana based fighter up in Mexico. You know, and this dude is pretty active. He's young. He's not an old guy. He's pretty active. You know, he's a veteran, right? Has a lot of fights on his belt. Almost has like 50 fights, right? He beats Gonzalez by technical decision, right? Because I'm just looking at, I'm wondering who this guy is, right? And so, Carl Frampton, he signs with Al Heyman. You know, he's got this big, he's got this big deal about being the star in America, and not only over there, in Ireland. Whatever, right? And yeah, man, he comes out hard. He comes out hard. In the first round, he's pressing Alejandro Gonzalez. Now, Alejandro Gonzalez is he's tall for his weight class. He's way taller than Carl Frampton. The dude's 5'7", right? Carl Frampton's 5'5". That's what's listed. That's what's listed on BoxRec. That's what they got listed. To me, the dude was he looked like he was 4 inches taller than Carl Frampton. But anyway, Carl Frampton, he comes out, and very aggressive, man, very aggressive. I seen Carl Frampton fight before, but I never remember him fighting so aggressive. But anyway, long story short, he gets out there, and I think he thinks he's gonna wail on Gonzalez, right? Gonzalez knocks him down with a jab. That's it. Carl Frampton opens up with the left hook, a little bit too wide. He comes out wide, but he was like he's too far away, man. The dude only has like a 62-inch reach. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, his arms are like connected to his body, almost infused to his body. You know what I'm saying? He's got T-Rex arms and stuff like that. But anyway, he gets knocked down, and it's like, damn. I'm like, okay. It was like, oh, this is highly unusual. And then all of a sudden, Carl Frampton starts opening up again. He starts pressing the action again. He's tight and everything, and he gets knocked down by a right hand. He almost gets knocked out, right? And then the first thing that comes to mind was First thing that comes to mind is like, man, Eurobum. That's I was like, man, this dude goes over here, gets knocked out. Americans, in the YTBC over here, man, they're gonna have a field day. I know a lot of UK guys, they would have gotten their feelings hurt, and they would have been saying like Eurobum this, Carl Frampton, he's a fraud. This is what we're talking about, Eurobum. That's what I was thinking. That's what came to mind. Even though that's not the truth, that's what I was thinking. Like, this is what people are gonna be saying, like Eurobum. These Eurobums. So anyway, second round, Carl Frampton. He almost got himself in trouble again in the second round with Gonzalez landing the right hand, right? And Gonzalez was had a point taken away because he was hitting below the belt. Carl Frampton, kept pointing out that dude kept on hitting him low, right? And then the referee, takes a point away. He didn't even want him all that much, actually. Which is weird, man. This fight was held in Texas, El Paso. There's something up with Texas, man. There's something up with Texas. There was anyway. I'm not gonna go into that, but the refereeing for the whole card was kind of bogus, man. Like every ref could have done something better. There was an issue. I don't know what's up with Texas and its sanctioning body. I don't know if it's the atmosphere or the culture or something like that. I don't even think these referees got a beef from Texas, and they start acting funny and stuff like that. I don't even think they know the rules or something like that. But anyway, they took a point away, right? Carl Frampton still got into some trouble because Gonzalez was still able to land that right hand or whatever like that. But Carl Frampton, he settled down and he started pumping out the jab. Now this is a beautiful jab, man. He started pumping out that jab and busting up Gonzalez's face and whatnot, and he started putting his combinations together. He started setting up his combinations, varying his jab and stuff like that, and taking it to the body, then coming with the hooks. So he jabbed, hooked, and stuff like that. He did a lot of good stuff. He started to look like a top tier, super bantamweight. You know what I'm saying? He started to look like he was on another level, which he was. He was on another level, and it showed, in the fight, later on in the fight, right? And then around the sixth round, Carl Frampton, he backs up a little bit. He starts setting up some counter punches. Then he starts landing his right hand. And then in the seventh, Gonzalez, he doesn't have an answer, but he starts going back down to the body. Gonzalez tries to use a lot of body punches to slow down Carl Frampton. But he does it again in the eighth round, but in the eighth round he wasn't so effective. You can see what he was trying to do. He was trying to counter Carl Frampton to the body a lot. And this is why Gonzalez was penalized not only once but twice for low blows to the body. And I think he should have been penalized. This is why Carl Frampton's short. Now, commentators was kind of mentioning that Carl Frampton was pulling down his head or whatnot, but then again, this dude got like 3 inches on Carl Frampton, and Carl Frampton is not hovering over him or nothing like that. And, I don't know why Gonzalez felt the need as if he needed to dip his head so low and loop these punches so low where he was even hitting this dude's belt line. He was like giving up his height. And this goes to show this dude was inexperienced. The dude's only like 22 years old. Hell, Carl Frampton, got like 6 years on him. and hell, almost got like a couple more years of experience on him, So Carl Frampton's got way more experience on the top tier level anyway. So in the ninth, Gonzalez stuns Frampton again with the right hand and a few body punches. And 10th round is a bit even, and like in the 11th, Carl Gonzalez gets deducted a point. But anyway, Frampton wins the fight by unanimous decision, man. He was a class above, but Frampton, man, he's got to relax. He's got to relax, man, because if he's thinking like facing a lot of these Mexican fighters, it's gonna make his job a little bit easier. It's not, man. It's not. A lot of these dudes they might be a bit wild or something like that, or they might have a reputation as not being technically sound, but that's not the case. You get what I'm saying? That's not the case, man. It's a method to the madness, and they mention it in the commentators, the color commentators mention it. It's like, hey, Frampton hasn't faced too many Mexican fighters, and that Gonzalez had mentioned it, saying like, hey, Frampton ain't faced no true Mexican, and this could have blew up in his face, man. It's good that he was able to settle down, get back to his boxing. I didn't see too much panic in Carl Frampton's corner, but in a post-fight interview, Frampton had mentioned that he gives himself he was disappointed. He felt as if he had a poor performance, but he's hoping to fight more in the U.S. and hopefully get fight like 3 or 4 times out of the year, majority in the U.S. and hopefully take a fight back home, once a year in Northern Ireland. So, yeah, man, let me know what y'all think, man. Carl Frampton, was he exposed? Was Carl Frampton exposed? Or was he just like, just too tense, man? He's just caught up in the moment. It was his American debut. To me, he did great, man. Getting up off the canvas. He showed, a lot of heart and composure to me. I thought he did a great job, man. Hopefully I get to see more of Carl Frampton over here in the U.S. But I think it was a great experience, man. He traveled. He got out of his comfort zone, man. He got out of his comfort zone. He got out of the UK. He got out of the UK and he did his thing over here in the US and defended his belt, man, like a real champion. He got an IBF belt. He did his thing at super bantamweight. Hopefully he can fight another top contender, man. Hopefully he can fight another top contender. But let me know what y'all think. Who should he fight next? Who should he fight next? Dang, he's ranked number 1. He's ranked number 1. Leo Santa Cruz, Scott Quigg, Nonito Donaire. I don't know, y'all. Let me know. Hell, he already beat Chris Avalos. Hell, am I right about that? Yeah, he beat him. Hell, damn, that's weird, man. You got a guy, and Alejandro Gonzalez Jr. coming out of nowhere, and he's already beat Chris Avalos and Kiko Martinez. Blowing those dudes out. But yeah, man. Let's see, maybe Julio Diaz or something like that. Kid Gallahan, even though Kid Gallahan's probably served some kind of suspension. But let me know what y'all think, man. All right, bye.